Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm in the house with the Derek Stang Pyrenees version 2 here with me for a review. We're gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this fella right over here. But first of all, let me say a big thank you to my buddy Blair for sending this guy along, so I'm able to check it out, share my impressions with you. You can also follow him on Instagram. His Instagram is Knife Island. And second of all, don't forget to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, to leave a comment. Let me know your impression. Let me know what you think. Give me a feedback. Everything I just said is gonna be free of charge, and you just are gonna be enjoying the process. So let's just do it. So let's go ahead and check the size on this bad boy. Blade length is gonna be like 3.3 inches, 3.4 inches long. The handle is going to be like 4.9, and the overall length on this fella is going to be 8.5. So this guy up against a couple options. Here you got Ontario Red number 2 and Ontario Red number 1, and we're more in the ballpark of the Ontario Red number 1 for sure. Not by any means close to the bug out from Benchmade, and this is of course the mini bug out, and no, there's no really comparison there. Like, look at that, Spyderco Para 3, it's not gonna make it. Maybe Spyderco Para Military 2, we are pretty much in the same ballpark as to handle to blade ratio. In fact, you can see without me smashing my camera that the handle to blade ratio is very similar for Spyderco and the Stang. Here you got Sebenza, that's the large 21, and this little fella right over here is the small 21. And you can see that we are, yeah, same ballpark of the large Sebenza, but there's more cutting edge for this Chris Reeve right over there. What else can I show you? Because we are talking about Canadian makers, I gotta show you something Canadian, right? So that's the Olson Microburst. And then we got like this fella over here, that's Kirby Lambert, that is the Rain. And because again, we're talking about Canadian, I have to show you some Canadian stuff. That's another Rain, look at that. And how can I not show you a Peter Rassenti knife? That's the large Nirvana 3.0. And what else? Oh, this guy. Another Canadian gorgeous knife. That's the North Arm Knives Skaha. And yeah, these are some Canadian blades you can see, and I had to show them. So what is this, guys? This is the Derek Stang Pyrenees, that's the version 2. It's a titanium frame lock. It's an improved version of the previous one, of course, and there are some tweakings happening to this titanium frame lock. So you can see this is made in Canada, in Alberta, by Derek Stang. The price, I think it's around 750 Canadian dollars, so probably like 600, in the 600 range US. It's all made by Derek, and that's amazing. I mean, he's doing this in-house, everything designed, milling. He's got a bunch of machines. Is that's very I appreciate that effort that is putting into making this kind of things, and I appreciate that. So this is a titanium frame lock, nice checkered pattern. You see, it's not like 2D. It's just like, it's not like just a flat slab. Like for example, you would see right here in the Sebenza, you see these are just flat. There's no curvature on the handle, and that's gonna be nice in the hand, nicer. Of course, you've got some nice rounded edges over here, all around the perimeter. Not really like a chamfering, but rounded off for sure. Nice titanium. This is pretty good, guys. Like, I'm checking if there's any imperfection on the surface, and I can't find any, so very good job. You open it up, and this guy has like a main finger groove right in this position, just like a kind of like a flat area. So I mean, you can use it like that for sure, and use this guy as a second finger, so like that 100%. But like that, I think that's my preferred way. So you're like keeping this finger farther from the blade, and that allows like for more hardcore work, because if you're going to be like that, you're going to be too close to the blade, so you can't really access any material to chop. But look at that, like that, this is just like a beast, and you have the full handle to grab onto. So that's going to be a good thing, even if I'm not a fan of bad handle to blade ratio, but in this case I understand that, because this is like a workhorse. It's meant to be put to work. You've got also some internal milling on the show side only. Maybe you can see from this angle there's a big milling pocket to reduce the weight. And no skeletonization going on the lock side, as you can see from this angle. Then you've got lanyard hole drilled through the scales and the back spacer, which is very nicely done, perfectly flush. It's titanium, it's milled, it's anodized, matching the clip, the handle screws, and the pivot screw, of course. Nice accent. I think you can decide which color you prefer the accent to be, and you have like some level of customization for your knife, and that's a fantastic thing. Also, you got blade absolutely centered. You cannot touch the tip of the blade because it's safely recessed and buried down into this set of scales, and that's pretty good. Also, the overall look when closed is good. You have this groove over here. You have the cutout on the blade, which is nicely framed, and then you can see the lock bar, like that's protruding, of course, like poking out through the hole right there. And then you got this big dimple going on over here, which probably is my least favorite part, even if it's the most distinctive part of the knife, because it's pretty unique. So, in the knife game, you gotta have to put something new out, and I appreciate that for that point, but aesthetically is not my favorite part of the knife. I would have preferred like just a straight line going like this way. And then you got overall look when closed is nice. I appreciate this sweeping curve on the back. That's pretty good. You got flush screws to the handle. Just the pivot is sticking out just a little bit, but it's not obnoxious in any ways. Also, the disassembly of this one is pretty straightforward. You take this guy apart and boom, you're done. You can also check my maintenance video if you're curious to see how the inside is looking. It's nicely made. It's well done, I have to say. Also, it's missing like stainless steel lock face insert, but the lock face of the lock bar has been carbidized, as you can probably see maybe from this angle. So I don't experience any lock stick, and that's pretty good. Lockup is, I would say, 20%. So you got plenty of life in this one. You've got I don't know if that looks like a ceramic detent ball ramp. Sorry, ceramic detent ball, but there's no detent ball ramp. In fact, you see that you got this little hard step right there. Then you got titanium tip-up carry only pocket clip, which is nicely done. There's a beautiful springy tension to it. Very, very cool. Easy ramp to enter, to get in and out of the pocket, so that's working fantastically. Nice and thin, a little bit long, but it's a long handle, so that makes sense. It's not reversible, it's tip-up carry only, it's just gonna stay there. And something pretty cool that I really, really love about pocket clip is that has hidden hardware. So it's screwed in from the inside, and that's a fantastic thing to keep the overall look clean. The blade length is probably my major gripe, because it's, in a handle this big, you pack like a 3.4 inch long, right? That's like 3.4 inch long blade. So that's my only gripe. But I know that this is a workhorse, so that you can use all this area because you can just grab it on the back. So that's I get that, but personally I prefer better to handle to blade ratio. Also, you have some nice jimping, I have to say. That's not too aggressive, but even if it looks aggressive, it doesn't shred your finger, it's actually has a nice bite and it's just working. Like it's something you want like that if you wanna beat the hell out of this knife. And then you got some nice chamfer going on, a little, you see, rounded off on the edge here in the spine. You got this huge dimple which you can't really take advantage of unless you use it like that. But here it's just like there's no finger guard, you know. This is very easy to slip, I think, and then hit the sharpened area over there. So I would just rather stay back here than choke it up like that. Then you got, you see this the drop area here, sorry, the chamfered area just stops right here, and then you got your tip, which is pretty robust there. 30% belly, straight edge up to the sharpening choil. You get these steps, which are reminiscent a little bit of the North Arm Knives Kaha. You see, nicely done over here. This is like a full flat grind. Let's say here you have a flat area there, but yeah, I guess this is like a nice Canadian thing, like Norseman, anyone, and it's pretty cool. It's working effectively actually too. If you like do food prepping, this is not gonna have any food sticking to the blade, and that's something nice. Then of course you got sharpening choil over here, not really finger choil. You get a pretty wide opening here that works as a thumb hole opening, like nicely. But for like a spidey flick opening, you see sometimes you just put too much, because it's that big, you can just stick like your finger in it like that, and that's not gonna be useful because the finger is just gonna get jammed here, so you can't deploy it. So you have to do just a little bit of finger, not like that, but a little bit less, so like that it can deploy. So keep that in mind. But so that, yeah, it's a little bit too big. Of course, like if you do like a spidey hole, you need, you know, to ask for the license, but it's a little bit too wide, so maybe just keep the oval thing and just a little bit narrower, and it's gonna be fine, probably. I don't know, that's just my 2 cents. And also, like, I appreciate that there's no billboarding going on this side and on this side, so the Crewwear logo is just appears when you close the knife and only on the lock side, and that's really, really good. I appreciate the sterile look of this blade. Let's also check the thickness of the stock. This guy is going to be 0.143 inches, and behind the edge this guy is going to be 0.0165. So not too shabby for a blade this thick. It's nice. You can see actually from this angle how thin behind the edge this guy is. Plunge grind starts like from this point. You see it's pretty much perpendicular and then just meets this last line of the primary bevel to create this flat and stone washed finish, which is a work finish, and it's very, very nice. You got the stop pin over here, which hits this indentation on the tang of the blade, and that's pretty good. And then you got the sound, which is deep and clacky and very pleasant. I like it, like clack clack. It's very good. You can hear the detent breaking and the blade hitting the stop pin in a nice way. When you close it, very pleasant. It's nice. It's a nice sound. I appreciate it. But when I open the knife, it's beautiful. It's a deep, low pitch, not loud sound. I like it. Let's also check the weight on this fella, because there's quite some heft to it. It feels robust, I have to say. It's going to be 5.14 ounces in your pocket, so not a super light one, but because it's robust, you know, you got these slabs of titanium. The lock side is full, so yeah, you have that kind of weight. Also, like if you hold it like that and take advantage of this finger groove, there's no hot spots whatsoever, so it feels really good in the hand, especially if you want to just do like some hardcore work. Yeah, it's gonna feel good. No hot spots. I don't feel any sharp edges. Like maybe if I squeeze a lot, I can feel something in this area, but not that much. So that's pretty good. You can easily do a choke up, a reverse grip like that. And also the knife overall has a pretty solid and sturdy feeling. It doesn't move, doesn't bend, doesn't flex. It's not that slippery because of the texturing going on the scales. I don't see any gaps or misalignment. Everything looks flush. It's well put together, guys, I have to tell you. There is also, like for example, no rattling when shaken. It's a solid one, I'm telling you. There is no blade play up and down, no lock rock. There is no stainless steel lock face insert, so just keep that in mind. I feel that these gaps are a little bit too wide. Like for example, I don't know, I'm taking something a little bit higher end, but if you check like the lines over here, like has been cut, like the lock bar, the area, you can see that you know that there's some difference, and I prefer some smaller gaps, but still this is gonna be working fine. And also you have pretty much a good area here with a different kind of jimping. You see these very, very thin lines, but the opening is very good, so you can easily access the lock bar to disengage it, no problem whatsoever. You got a nice, I have to say, actually it's very nice, like disengaging this part. There's no jimping here, so it's not, you cannot grip it, but because of that space, it's pleasant. I like it. Also, this guy has Nylatron washers right over here. Maybe you can see from this side, or actually you can see in my maintenance video, to be running under the hood and to create this pretty smooth, I have to say, action. It's very, very glassy smooth. It's pleasant. But they are plastic, basically nylon. So I don't know about the durability of those. I don't know if they last a lot. I don't know how they will behave with dirt. But I can tell you guys, the action is pretty good. Like you disengage the lock bar and you see the blade just wants to shut close, but you just have to wiggle a little bit to get the blade into the closed position. So that's only a thing. If you're like a fan of drop shot, this is not for you, but I actually appreciate the smoothness on this one. So yeah, also like the detent strength is on the light side. You know, it's nothing dangerous. You need to shake it vigorously, probably to get it. Yeah, no, you can't shake it open. So that is fine, but the detent is on the weak side, and the light side, sorry, and it's actually the action is very, very smooth, I'm telling you. So I mean, overall, this is a very interesting knife. I think it needs a little bit more work. Like for example, I would love like a little bit different blade shape, but I understand that's like a signature. I would prefer like a smaller hole, maybe stainless steel lock face insert, a little bit more jimping, even if it works perfectly. Clip is pretty good, and the milling is nice. Maybe do a little bit more milling on the inside. Sound is dialed in, and maybe like an inlay. I don't know. This is a nice blueprint for some pretty cool optimization and improvements for the future. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.